but I'm still here. Wrote down these words, and it seems so clear. You was the one who said believe in love. We get closer, but not close enough. Why'd you have to leave? Why'd you have to go? Why'd you have to go? Oh, I can't do this anymore. Why'd you have to leave? Why'd you have to go? Tell me that I meant something to you. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I wrote a letter to myself, and it was full of promises. One for you and one for me. Love is not our enemy. I wrote a letter to myself, and it was full of promises. One for you and one for me. Love is not our enemy. Need some distance from you. I just disappoint you. Need some distance from you. I just disappoint you. Need some distance from you. I just disappoint you. Need some distance from you. I just disappoint you.
Thank you for your patience, family. Thank you for your patience. Brother Bruce, are you on? Secretary Bruce?
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother, it's on you. Whenever you're ready to start, our guest is in the building, so we can proceed.
All right. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? I'll give you the rules of the and the guidelines of the meeting. No cursing. Please try not to use the N-word. Sisters, please do not give out your phone numbers without approval to division officers. Without approval of division officers. Please respect others when they're communicating. During meeting, limit yourself to 5 minutes. Ladies will share first, then the brothers. Respect the chain of command of local officers. All right, we're going to do a roll call. Mr. Everett, President Everett, here. All right. First Vice, Mr. James Richards. He's not here at the moment. Second Vice, Dwayne Page. How are you doing, sir? All right. Lady President, how you doing, ma'am? Treasurer.
First Vice just entered. I'm sorry, brother. Bruce. First Vice is in.
You good, sir? Let's see. Treasurer, Mr. Shaw. He's not here at the moment. All right, we got a couple coming in right now. All right. Sergeant at Arms, Honorary Colonel of Mr. Answorth. How you doing today, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Peace and
blessings.
blessings.
And the secretary is joining us now.
All right. Mr. Frank Shaw, how you doing, sir? All right.
I'm good.
All right. Ambassador at Large, Miss Charlene Foster.
Here.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
Agricultural Coordinator, Miss Narcissa Davis.
She spoke to me. She said somebody passed away in her family, but she'll try to jump on. It's like 2 people or something she said, but she said she'll try to jump on.
All right. And Mr. Committee Chair, Mr. Cameron Hopkins. Is he here today? It's not here today. Okay. All right.
Excuse me, just another footnote. I have a guest that I invited, Marlon Darcy.
Turn it off.
You heard me, Mr. Secretary, you heard me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
What's his name
Peace,
again?
family. Peace, family. How you guys doing today?
Peace and blessings, my brother. I'm glad you can make it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right.
I'm tuned in.
Awesome.
The iPhone, the person that's on with this iPhone, please identify yourself. It's protocol that we need to have your name, know who you are.
No, right here. No, don't do that. This is what this is for, right here. Okay.
Excuse me, hello? The person that's on as an iPhone, could you please identify yourself?
Hold on a second.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes. Who? Can you identify yourself?
Yeah, this is Dwayne. It's Dwayne Page.
That's Second Vice, brother Dwayne. Okay, we got you, Second Vice.
All right,
Okay, good.
All right, brother Bruce.
All right, sir. All right. Please raise your right fist, and we're going to say the pledge.
You good with it?
Okay, good to go.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Yes, we got you.
All right. I commit my body, mind, and spirit
I commit my body, mind, and
body, mind,
spirit
and spirit,
to the protection, defense, and security of the red, black, and green.
to the protection, defense, and
defense,
security of the red,
of the
black,
red,
and the
black, and
green.
green.
I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa
I
I
dedicate
dedicate my life to the
Life to the
redemption of Mother
redemption of Mother
Africa
Africa
and our scattered black children.
and
and the scattered black children.
I accept for myself and my descendants
I accept for myself and my descendants
the teachings of universal African nationalism
the
the teachings of universal African nationalism.
and promise that our children will be instilled
And I promise that our children will be instilled
Still,
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people,
with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people,
African people,
in order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail,
in order
in
that
order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail
until all black children, until all black people are free and united.
until all black people are free and united
Through one God,
through one God,
one God,
one aim,
one aim,
and
one destiny.
one destiny.
Race first.
Race first, man.
first.
Praise for
All right. All right. Let's see. Old news. Okay. UNIA officer training is over. We're taking the test. The testing is going on as we speak. It's still it's towards the end. I don't think another class is going to come until next year. That was the course in African philosophy. Very, very deep book. It gets into detail. It tells everything. So if you don't have that book, you can get it off of Amazon. I think it's like $13. No, it's $5. Message to the people. I really advise folks to get that and start going through it. And it's a very good book. All right. We have the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys license renewed.
Yes, that we had went down there and they were trying to close the school, so we did a little bit of protesting and made our voices heard, and the school was renewed. So I want to thank everybody. I know Sister Charlene and Mama Earth came to the event as well, and we emailed letters and everything. So all those guys that supported my brother Evan, I thank you. And he's able to keep his school open. And we need more people to have schools like that, especially for Black young men, just pushing them to get college degrees and good high school education. So thank you for that.
Anybody else want to comment on the school? All right. Black men unifying Black men. Unity Build Group. Mr. Winchester.
All right, so we're meeting. We're gonna all decide and select one Black-owned restaurant that we want a bunch of our organizations to support. I'm gonna let you guys know. Somebody mentioned Sister Eartha's new restaurant, and it may be between that and Terra Cafe right now of the one of the businesses we're going to go to. So we're going to select the day, and then we're all going to try to bring our families and bring our organizations down to support that Black-owned business. And the agreement is that Black-owned business has to reciprocate back to the community. So there's some stipulations, but once we select them, we'll go and meet, and then we'll go from there. So that was just it on that one, Brother Bruce.
Yes, sir. The African Legion meeting, it was postponed till this coming Friday. I did see a uniform.
The dress uniform.
Was that dress uniform?
That's the dress uniform.
Okay. Is that the prototype?
I think so. Yes, they're gonna look at it and see. The material looks nice.
Oh yeah, the material is dope.
Yeah, it's from Africa, made by all black company from Africa. So hopefully I think I ordered one, so hopefully I can fit mine. I should get that soon.
Okay. When is he coming back?
He's back. I think the President General is still in Africa, but I believe he's back. Yes. But he'll be having them down Atlanta for those that can't make the HEC. He'll mail them out to you.
Okay, good to go. Yeah, those dress uniforms, they got some good materials and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah. The African Legion meeting, if you guys and even ladies, for the Black Cross nurses, the African Legion meetings, we need a couple guys to show up and stuff. And if you got any ideas, bring your ideas, so then that way we can all collaborate and push forward the African Legion and make it something really good and strong. Because we got a lot of bright individuals inside with a lot of ideas. Hopefully the technologies and the trainings that we can offer to different various communities around the United States after we get the African Legion really pumping and going, it can be phenomenal. So bring as many people as you can in, so we can bring them into the African Legion and make this something strong. Because united we stand, divided we fall.
Yes, and real quick, for those who don't know what the African Legion is, that is the military security part of the UNIA. If you can imagine what the Nation of Islam security is like, that's where they got that from, the African Legion. People don't know that Elijah Poole was a member, Elijah Poole was a member of our Detroit division. So that's where he got a lot of his concepts from. Every male member is a member of the Legion. So when called upon to defend our nation, we must be ready. So I just wanted to make that clear. So whenever you guys are want to join, we'll send everybody the link if you're not getting it. Go ahead, Brother Bruce.
Yes, sir. Our History 365 event.
Oh yeah, I comment on. Well, somebody else can comment. Anybody want to comment on the event? That was a beautiful event. Beautiful event. I loved it.
I can say something. I thought I was on mute all along. My apologies if you heard any background noise. But as far as the our 365 event, man, I can't say enough words. When I first walked in, I was flabbergasted because I felt the energy there. I felt such an amazing connection there. The event went well. We was able to collaborate with the curator of the Harlem Theater, and it was just an awesome experience. I can't wait for more experiences to occur, but it was an absolute great time, and most of all, being honored to stand before brethren to swear in as Lady President. I can't tell you how honorable I feel about that. I really am grateful. I'm looking forward to future endeavors with the Harlem Theater. It's just rocked. Thank you, Everett. Thank you for letting the Spirit guide you through that way. Thank you. I thank you. You worried about whether I was going to like it or not. Man, my mouth flew open, and I was absolutely appreciative of Spirit guiding us to that place, because this is by divine order. Trust me.
Yeah, and for those that don't know now, she wants to. She's actually said that Sister Angela, I don't think she jumped on today. I might have forgot to send her the link, but she is allowing us to make it our headquarters, meaning we can have whatever events we want. We can have meetings in there whenever we need to. We can have whatever. We just need to coordinate it with her, and she already wants us to have a Juneteenth event there. So we're looking out for that. So I just think that's amazing that we can now have something that we can call our own, do fundraising and things of that nature. And she also has another building she wants to coordinate. what's more powerful was that being a part of her community village is what she calls it. She has other buildings she's purchased, and when we are ready to maybe get a building, we could look at that. She just only asks that even when we move forward, we don't abandon her. You know, we have her back. We still use her facilities, and we still support her and her community. And that was a given. She didn't charge us. She's not, you know, looking for any of that. She's just looking for a strong organization to help, you know, use that facility. So that's a blessing. So we got a home now. So that's good to go. Anybody else want to comment before we move forward?
Ms. Kenya, she had her hand up.
Go ahead, sister.
I think she just put her heart up.
Oh, okay, yes.
Okay, Ms. Charlene Foster.
Okay, definitely, that place is gorgeous. I'm glad that a lot of folks who were there for the first time got a chance to see the inside of the theater. And I'm even more excited that it will be our future headquarters, because I feel that that particular building, along with the other properties in this space, is pretty much home for a whole lot of folks. In terms of activity and in terms of how we show up. And also the fact that even before the theater, that area in itself is where, you know, you have hosted numerous Marcus Garvey events. And then also when you had the former Tubman X that used to be in that area. So it feels like it's a good fit. And I'm just happy that it's all coming together.
That's right. That's right. Anybody else before we move forward? All right, Brother Bruce.
Yes, UNIA Liberty Farm meeting.
Mama Earth or Brother Tony can comment on that.
I went out.
Mama.
Okay.
Sorry, take it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I went out there the day before yesterday just because I haven't been out there in quite some time. I was supposed to went Saturday, but when we got out there, tires got stuck, so we kind of like didn't stay out there too long. But when we went out there just to get familiar of the space and where we can start building. So the plan is to meet again, this time out there on the farm, so that you can get a visual on what was discussed at the initial meeting. I didn't, yeah, I was supposed to invite, my apologies, because I'm also taking the test at the same time I'm juggling.
Good luck.
So I'm taking the test and I'm on here. So I'm not going to be on here much too long because I do want to focus, but I do wanted to say that we're trying to get as much farming knowledge as we can. And I went out there, few things he's going to have to do. He has like 3 trailers actually that he wants to turn into like a storage unit. The barn has like 4 stalls and it's filled with stuff. So he wants to get rid of that and send it either to a consignment shop or to the junkyard. And he has a boat on the land. So it's some things that is going to have to be cleared. He's going to try to get us that a certain portion rocked or where's we will have traction when we go down there, because you can easily get stuck. If you don't have 4-wheel drive, your wheels will get stuck. But I just went out there just to get a little visual on what, to refamiliarize myself with how big it is. I mean, it's extremely big. So we'll get the dates together when we can collaborate on the farm and go out and do a walk, a walk through the land. So that's all I have at this moment.
Awesome. And for those that don't know, every UNIA, we want to try to get a farm or at least a garden. And I believe High Priest is Chief Elder. Welcome back, Chief Elder. I know everybody was worried about him. So I told him to jump in. I think that's Chief Elder, High Priest. But if not, identify yourself. Yes, so we want to be self-sufficient as a community, as a government. And so we're trying to partner to get a farm, or not a farm, but rent some farmland off of a farm. So we can have our own farm. That's very important, that we can start feeding and supplying for our community. We have one farm in Curacao, and we have where our division is at, and we have a farm in Liberia, where our division is at in Liberia. So we want to keep building farms so we can support our own. So that's what we're working on right now. Back to you, Brother Bruce. Thank you for that, Mama Earth.
Motion detected at the backyard.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Okay, new news, Mr. Everett, did you want to go through that, sir?
Yes, real quick. And I don't have the information in front of me. You guys know one of our first guest speakers, we got Professor James Smalls to speak. And I've always been keeping in contact with him. He had heart surgery. He's doing better, but we are taking donations for him to help with the bills and things. He's still in recovery mode. I don't know his condition. I think they say he's doing well, but Professor Smalls is very old. So I'll get that information in a minute and put that in the chat. So that's very good. We want to take care of our elders. I'm sorry, I just had to get this out. Brother Dwayne had mentioned we're having that Marcus Garvey Festival meeting next Saturday, and that's going to be at Sister Earth's spot. So we want to get out there and support and make sure we can make that festival more powerful, because everything is there. And also the Harlem Theater wants to be a part of it like they were before. So we can have an outside and an inside, and have, stuff inside and outside. Maybe we can even seal off the street or something. So that's going to be powerful. We're going to meet about that. There was one more thing, the Treasury report. I put that in Signal sheet real quick. Really, we don't really have a Treasury report because we don't have anything coming out of our account. But I just wanted to guys give you a total of what we have so far. And I thought I did that. Hold on, I put it in there. Because we are going to meet with Brother Frank. Right now we have $1,434.47. That includes, I believe, 20 monthly paying dues members and 40 yearly paying dues members. So we know we have a lot of people that are part of our UNIA. They jump in and out of meetings but if you aren't paying your dues, please, because every bit counts. And I'm sure on share time, Brother Frank can mention some things about what we're trying to do. We are now a 501c and stuff like that. So I think those were the things I had to get out the way before we brought in our guests. Oh, run down the list of the new business. I just knew I didn't put that in there, Brother Bruce, and then I'll comment on it if you need me to.
Yes, sir. Women's Month event, health and physical, via Zoom or face to face.
Okay, I'm looking at our sisters now. I sent a couple of them a text, but we want to do an event for Women's Month. I guess we can probably try to, because we need time to, to plan it, to do it maybe at the end of the month. So I'm going to get with the sisters and let them roll with it and give them their ideas of however they want to do it. Sister Yvette, you had something to comment on that? I see your hand raised.
Yeah, I had sent you a message earlier. I did a workshop on healing the inner you, and it was for women. So I wanted to see if we can do that as part of the Women's Month health and wellness. And it's basically dealing with how to process trauma and how to heal your inner self. So it's like an hour workshop. I can absolutely offer that on the table as a suggestion that we could do.
That sounds good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect you, give you the contact of Dr. Kimia, Sister Charlene, Lady Mishon, and Sister Vicky as well, and see if you guys can coordinate so everybody can be a part of it and add that little input as well, so we can make it as powerful as possible. And I think that's one thing Doctor said. She said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Just make sure our sisters taking it, and running with it. So definitely we want to empower our sisters. So that's definitely, we want y'all to just plan and just whatever you need from the brothers, we got you covered. Oh, what was the next, Brother Bruce?
It was the Harlem Theater.
Okay, we talked about that. What was the next one? I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda in front of me.
Oh, no, you're good. Juneteenth event at Harlem Theater.
Oh yeah, I think I mentioned that. No, I didn't. I mentioned Marcus Garvey Day. She wants us to do a Juneteenth event there, which would be great. We could also set up on the street, outside and inside, have musicians and things of that nature. So time is running, so we need to, get with the vendors, try to see how we can input and make sure it's ready to go and start promoting it so it could be right. I think the last couple of events we did with Kevin, but they took them off the back lot. And so the front lot was a little tough as far as having a lot of people. And I know he likes to do different things. So if he's still going to be doing it, we'll see if he would like to come in with us. But that's something that we can really make powerful. So let's try to get that going as soon as possible. It started planning, and we'll talk about that at our officers meeting when we get going. Brother, Bill, you got your hand raised? Somebody got their hand? Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just
raise first, Brother Bill.
How you doing, big brother? I just wanted to say, if you plan to you want to block all streets, you need to get with the city early on that.
Okay.
You don't want to wait till the last minute, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before. And I don't know what it takes if there's a fee. Might be a fee. I don't know. But you want to move sooner than later.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Well, that I was talking about that for the. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm driving, so I can't put my hand up. I can't do too much. But so we're not working with Kevin anymore?
Yes, we are. We are. I told you I was going to call him and see if he would come with us. Kevin last year was talking about moving to different places.
Oh, okay. Because I thought he was trying to enlighten the community that he was in. So I didn't know if it changed or not. Okay.
No, it hasn't changed, but we also had, we wasn't getting a lot of traction. So a lot of the vendors wanted to make sure that, we could get to a space where we could have more people. And since he's off the back lot, we didn't know if that would be sufficient enough for everybody. We wanted to make sure the vendors were happy and could have as much, much leeway as possible.
And, because it was easier for me to get to because it's on my side of town. So a lot of the things that you guys are doing is on the west side, northwest. So that was like an event that was, kind of northeast east. That,
I got you.
It was involved with, because right now the Harlem at theaters in West Baltimore. So what do we have in northeast or East Baltimore?
Well, we could try to work for something in northeast, but seeing that this is going to be our home base, we really got to push it and let people know where we're at. Because now we can have community meetings. We can have whatever and invite the community and have our mass meetings in person there. So that being it's our home, that being it's our home site, we really want to promote our home, the UNIA home, and make sure that we're moving in a direction to use that facility as much as possible. But so we can definitely get with Kev. We can definitely get with Kev because he does several events. So that's not an issue. I know he does not just Juneteenth, Black Wall Street and stuff like that as well.
So will a banner be on the Harlem theater that says UNIA, or is the UNIA going to have a sign?
We're going to have the signs and the flags and let people know that is also our home. Yes, that we can come in. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Brother Bruce. How many more before I guess?
We got the Marcus Garvey Festival meeting.
I mentioned that.
Okay, good to go. And that is it right there, sir. Good to go.
All right. You want to introduce our guest speaker? I put that on the agenda, and then Brother
Yes, sir.
Jovani can come in.
Yes, sir. Our guest speaker, Mr. Jovani Patterson. Jovani is proud to be a native Baltimorean and currently lives in West Baltimore with his wife and 2 children. A natural problem solver, Jovani currently works as a cybersecurity engineer where he identifies and fixes complex problems on a regular basis. Jovani routinely volunteers his time to mentoring and encouraging young Black males to pursue careers in science and technology. He is guided by his Christian faith, which provides him with the strength and wisdom to actively pursue change for Baltimoreans. He ran as city council president. Jovani hopes to continue his lifelong commitments to service and his vocation of problem solving to help address Baltimore's persistent challenges. Our guest. All right. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
For those that don't know, Brother Jovani is in this organization is suing the school system. So we really definitely want to get on point with that, because I don't know if you guys know, our UNIA was threatening to sue the Queens school system. And I'll put that article in the post as well. Brother Jovani, you there? Trying to
Yes,
get you.
can you hear me?
I got you, my brother. Thanks for joining us. The floor is yours.
Man, thank you, family, for having me, and thank you, Brother Everett, for inviting me, out to join everyone today. I never take it for granted when I get to speak in front of anyone. So again, I really am humbled and appreciate that. So again, my name is Jovani Patterson. I live in Baltimore with my wife and kids. I like to start out with this. Imagine if in Baltimore, if our primary community discussions are which side of town produces the most doctors, lawyers, engineers, tradesmen, entrepreneurs, business owners, year after year. Imagine what our city would look like. Imagine, just imagine what that would be like as a community. And then we must first ask ourselves, why aren't we there right now? What is going on? What's holding us back? So as I've gotten involved with a lot, I guess, political activism, or more involved with what's going on, I've noticed that a lot of what we're facing as a community, as a city, has come from either the lack of education or just corruption in our government. So what my wife and I have done is, last year, at the beginning of last year, we have filed a lawsuit against Baltimore City public schools. Now, if we know anything about education, it's one of those things that is not guaranteed in the Constitution, in the sense of, if you're not getting an education, you can just go out and sue the school system. There's some wording in particularly the Maryland Constitution that says the state has to provide a thorough and efficient education. Now, if you know anything about the words thorough and efficient, they have no legal basis at all. They mean absolutely nothing. So essentially, what we're facing in Baltimore City schools is an environment in which our kids are being uneducated or undereducated, which is not setting them up for the most successful futures in life. And if we know anything about education, education is a ticket to freedom. Education gives you options. Education creates and embodies opportunity. So when we have no education, the opposite of that is happening. So we now have kids growing up with no opportunities, no options, no positive, real positive outlooks on life. And that's why we're taking a stand to defend against that. So our lawsuit that we have is what's called a taxpayer standing lawsuit. So, if you go to the grocery store or you buy food, that extra bit of money, the sales tax, part of that money goes back into, the government, into the school system. property taxes. A big portion of what we pay in property taxes goes back to the school system. So what we're saying is, as taxpayers, as residents of Baltimore City, we're not getting the proper return on our investment based off the waste, fraud, and abuse that's going on in Baltimore City schools. So right now, that lawsuit, it has moved past the initial motion to dismiss, and we are in the discovery phase. And, I looked up what was going on, in New York, with UNIA up there. It's a very similar thing, right? It's pretty much the exact same thing, where our kids are being undereducated, and the surrounding communities are ones paying for this, and we're paying for our own demise. We're paying for our own, essentially paying for our own failures in the future. So we're taking a stand against that, right here in Baltimore City. Now, what needs to happen next is that we need community support surrounding the lawsuit, because the way the lawsuit is structured, it's not necessarily, kind of like a class action where you can just join the lawsuit. We just need community support surrounding the lawsuit. And I believe we need to start doing things like sending, letters to the, to the school board superintendent or CEO and to the mayor. And the reason we need to do that is because the structures of government right now prevent and essentially, the people are on the outside. It's this closed loop system, and let me explain why. The Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, it's a 12-member body. 10 of those positions are appointed positions. Those 10 positions are all appointed by the mayor, right? So the mayor has the ability to, put in whomever he wishes to put in there. And those 10 board also select the school board CEO. The school board CEO, they shortlist a list of candidates for school board CEO, and then the mayor then again approves or selects the candidate for school board CEO. At no point in this process are the people involved, right? So if you go to a school board meeting, if you go to any of these council meetings, the people are essentially not involved in this process. So if you're saying, hey, I need to look at the curriculum, they don't necessarily have to show it to you because you're not the ones that hold them accountable. If you say, hey, this is going on in the schools, we need to change, the process of learning. Our kids are not being taught correctly. There's no standing that the people have right now to hold them accountable. Right now, we still need to put public pressure on them because we've seen the reports come out where 23 schools have zero students proficient in math, in Baltimore City alone. And then even more than that, when it comes to having 1 or 2 students, so less than 3 students proficient in math or reading, there's 40 or so schools that meet that criteria, which is abysmal, right? We expect the most from our kids. We expect the most from our future, and it's time to get a return on our investment for that. Now, alongside that, we started an organization called PEACE, or People for Elected Accountability and Civic Engagement. And what we're doing now is going around Baltimore City, engaging in town halls in which we're asking how do people want to hold their government accountable, and we're also coming up with tools to help hold the government accountable. So one thing that has come up is the idea of recall. So giving the people power to have, to recall those elected officials that are no longer or just completely ignore the needs of the constituents. For example, in Northwest and District 5, we see that the council member here, because I'm sitting in District 5 right now, I'm at Home Depot. So we see that the council member up here will pay attention to one side of Northern Parkway, but completely ignore the other. But there's enough power on really either side of Northern Parkway to say, hey, you're not serving the will of the people. We need to take you out of office and put someone there that will. So we want to, give power back to the people where it belongs, because, it's critical. So we have a few things coming up. One is that we have a District 3 town hall, which is going to be next Tuesday, so March 14th at 6:30 p.m. And that's going to be at Jerusalem Evangelical Lutheran Church on Bel Air Road. That's 4605 Bel Air Road. That's going to be from 6:30 to 8. So if you're in District 3 or District 4 or surrounding districts, I definitely encourage anyone to come out to that one. And then on the 15th, downtown, we're having the Ides of March rally. So there's going to be everyone from the community, just rallying around the issues that are going on in Baltimore City. So that's going to be a very powerful event. That's March 15th at 5 p.m. in front of City Hall. And then the following week, we have the District 9 Town Hall, which is going to be March 21st at 6 p.m. And I'm not sure the address of that, but it's on West Fayette Street, so it's going to be in District 9. And then beyond that, the Rally for Education, which is going to be April 4th, which is in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination, where we're going to be recognizing his contributions to education. That's going to be April 4th in front of school board, so 200 East North Avenue. So we have a lot of things that our goals right now is, again, to build that community support and build that community pressure, one, surrounding education, and two, ultimately giving power back to the people where it belongs. So that's what we're working on. And, again, thank you, for inviting me and including me and allowing me to come, speak with the family here today. So I'll turn it back over to you, Brother Everett.
Yes, if anybody had any questions real quick, please raise your hand and then we can go through the list. I think the Baltimore Sun just did an article and it was basically saying that since the COVID, the Baltimore City school systems have gotten less stars. I don't know if you saw that article, but I just wanted you to just go into the importance of how that could affect us as a community. That star rating thing.
So I mean, just think about as an advertisement for Baltimore City. I mean, as a community, you want your community to thrive and grow, right? So if people make home buying decisions, business location decisions, growth opportunity decisions, oftentimes based on, if I bring my kids to this community or this area, will they get a good education? Will I be able to provide a better outcome or better opportunities than those for myself? So what we've seen now is Baltimore go from 12 schools with 1 star to, I think, 29 schools with 1-star rating, which is essentially saying stay away from Baltimore City. And I don't want that to be the message of anyone looking at Baltimore City. I want our city to be, hey, this is the shining city on the hill that it can be. I believe Baltimore City is the greatest city on the face of this planet. And as long as I'm kicking and breathing, I believe we should do everything in our power to make it just that. And the really amazing thing about Baltimore, it's a majority Black city. Everything about us is set up to show real, true Black excellence. But it's time for us to actually start demonstrating that. But we have to get rid of the corruption. We have to remove, the greed and all those things. And really, we have to return the power back to the people, because we have the people on the ground doing the work. Those same people are the ones that get ignored when it comes to expanding or doing this thing citywide. So, like I said, I just see Baltimore as the greatest city, and it's time for us to show it.
Thank you for that. Go ahead, Sister Charlene.
Okay. Hi. Thanks. Thanks for coming in and explaining and telling us everything about the lawsuit and what you're looking for. I got 3 questions here. First and foremost, where can we find this lawsuit? Is it posted on the website, your Peace website, or is it something that we have to inquire about?
So the lawsuit, the full, it's on Scribd, like the full complaint, or Scribd, I think that's the name of the site. But I have to send the link if I have to find it first. But I can definitely share it with Brother Everett and have him send it out to you. But it is public. And a way to follow the case right now, because we don't have a website necessarily tracking the lawsuit just yet. That is going to be kind of something separate that we will publish pretty soon. But I don't have a website for it just yet. But that is coming.
Okay. And my second question is, what is the desired end result of this lawsuit? Let's just say that it's accepted and they look at it and you win this lawsuit. What is the desired outcome?
Well, the desired outcome is for the schools to follow their own rules. And a prime example of this is with the actions taken against Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys. The way the school system treated Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys, it actually demonstrated that they have some level of being able to maintain and hold schools accountable, right? So the complaints that were made against Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys were pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. And going to the meeting and the community hearing in which they were explaining these things, the thought process was, well, why don't we hold traditional schools to these same standards? So what that showed me is that Baltimore City Schools has the capacity to hold the schools accountable, and they choose not to. So with the lawsuit, we're just saying, hey, follow your own rules, and let's create a system in place where we can be accountable to those rules. Now, outside of that, because that's a legal decision. Outside of that, there could be some policy changes which the people will have to move forward. So now, it could be something like we need a fully elected school board. There's other areas of transparency. So those are policy decisions that could come from what happens on the legal side.
Oh, thank you. And one more question in reference to this meeting that's coming up on the 14th. Now, interestingly enough, I had just type in the address because I had a question about it being District 2. And for the record, full disclosure, I live like 2 blocks from the church in which this event is being held. And I know for a fact that it sits right where District 2, which I'm a part of. So when we're talking about these districts, are you talking about the councilmatic district or the voting district?
So we're talking about councilmatic
said,
districts, but the meetings are open to anyone. We're focusing on District 3, but anyone can join. And is that right on the line of District 2 and District 3?
Yes, it is. It's right actually on that area, that property, that church sits right on District 2. Now I know this like it's a border, but that's part of District 2, and that's also part of my district.
Okay, understood. Well, thank you for that, and I'll make sure we get that. Make sure we note that moving forward.
And I apologize. And I just got back on. I kept on dropping off. But I thank you, sir, for bringing this information to my attention. I don't know if you mentioned it, but like my daughter goes to Glenmount Elementary and Middle. Is that in District 2 and 3?
I'm not sure. Not off the top of my head.
Danielle McCray is my city council member. Is it in her
that's
area?
District 2. So that's
District 2. Okay. So and I'm sorry, Charlene, how far has it gotten, or sir, how far has it gotten? Because I'm sorry I missed it, because it's really important that I hear what your plan is, because the focus I see that's happening in my daughter's school, that everybody, just about 90% in that school is diagnosed with ADHD. And I find that to be one of the major problems that's in our school. And it's nothing wrong with our children. They want to, dummy them down, put them on drugs, so they can't create and be the wonderful people they're supposed to be. And because when I heard about it on the news, and then when he said that you were going to speak, it's so many, and again, it starts in the home, and it starts with voting, and I wanted to. I'm behind you 100%, and I'll try to make my way to those meetings wherever you say they're going to be. But it's so far, it's so deep. The issue in Baltimore City, it's far beyond what we can imagine. And when you said it, I don't want them to dismiss it. I want them to continue with it because it's a major problem. And how some of us dismiss it as putting our children in other types of schools where we have to pay for it. But we're paying for our children to get education, as he stated. Property taxes and other things that's going on. And I'm just, it's troubling me. And I know firsthand what they're doing. These children are at 3rd and 2nd grade reading level, and they're sending them to high school because the tests say they okay. I said, you crazy. They've lost their mind. So I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna step back.
Yeah, so to answer your question, the lawsuit has entered into discovery phase. So we'll be issuing a discovery packet pretty soon in which subpoenas will be issued and other things will be actually able to ask questions in front of a judge. So that's what's coming up next. And as things develop, I'll definitely be making things more public. But you're right, it is a deep issue. There's multiple avenues to it, and there's no. And I say that to say because there's no one magic fix. I think it's a combination of all the efforts that we can do simultaneously and walking together. So whether it's, hey, we need more families, we need a cultural emphasis on education. We need to hold the elected officials accountable. We need, the school board to be accountable. All these things kind of have to happen at the same time. Otherwise we'll end up back in the same position and then pointing fingers back at one another. So that's where the collective and the community comes in and saying, hey, we have to value education. We have to start writing letters to our, to the school board CEO, even if she doesn't read them, even if they fall on deaf ears. There's going to be a public record of that. And then you can do things like FOIA requests and all the emails sent out to, the CEO or all the emails sent to the mayor about this issue. And you can blatantly see that, they don't care about our kids. But we start valuing this as a community. We start, things with this lawsuit and other avenues, and we join forces and do these things together. I foresee an amazing, bright Baltimore City.
Okay, so you got all the stakeholders in place. Is that what you're saying? Because you need sacrifice. You need people that's willing to sacrifice for their children. And again, we have a issue in Baltimore City. You're talking about education. It starts in the home. They're not being guarded in their homes. So these children are going out in the streets, and the parents know what they're doing. Somebody in that house knows. And if they don't care that they're letting this child go outside with a gun or, robbing people and doing these other things, it starts in the home. We can say all of these things, but the people in the home that's making these children are the issue. They don't care about them getting the education, because if they did, we should be making a lot of noise because it doesn't make sense. And you see the issue. We're being dummied down by the social media. The children are not reading, they're not writing, they're talking into the phone. So when you say it's gone far beyond this, and we talk about the guidelines, if there's no student left behind, you got to fight big government for that. No student left behind. What does that mean? It holds nothing. Holds no water. Just like you said, they want everybody to have a great education. What does that mean? Has no power behind none of it. So I'm just saying it takes more. It's suing the Baltimore City school systems. I'm ready to sue some of the parents because they really just don't care. I'm done.
Brother Bill Curtis, you had your hand up? Brother Bill, or no?
Brother Bill, unmute yourself.
I think I just did. Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Trying to navigate this here, this Zoom on my phone ever. So I just wanted to drop in to say that the lawsuit's a long-term, well, it's not a short-term thing. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. The process takes a little while, but yes.
That could take 4 years. Possibly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Meanwhile, okay, first of all, I don't have a dog in this fight. I have no kids in school. I don't have no young children. They're grown. With all of the issues in Baltimore that we all are aware of. Okay, I agree. Okay, sue them. Fine. But that's a long-term thing. So what do we do in the short term? We all can analyze how bad our problem is in Baltimore City. I live in Baltimore City. And it's a lot of layers to this. And as a young lady mentioned, parents, there's some bad parents out there. But then there's some good parents who really don't know who are not aware enough to know how to advocate for themselves. The only point I'm going to make is this. At some point, soon, we need to be tutoring our own children. As this organization and other organizations around town, I call you guys young tigers. You know? Everybody popping up with an organization. Everybody's got an analysis. Everybody got some kind of solution. We need to begin to tutor our own children. We need to have our own little, I don't know. I don't even know how to invent it, but it needs to be invented. Because looking for someone else to educate us, that is not going to work. So if the lawsuit takes 4 years, roughly, or maybe 7 years, could be 10 years, they'll be bouncing you around. They'll be bouncing you around the legal system for years. We all know that. We should be aware of that. But meanwhile, what is it we do? You know, I've been thinking about this whole tutoring thing, be it math. If they're bad in math, you know, you're not going to survive in America without math. You're not going to be able to survive in America and compete. Let's say, no, we'll survive. Compete. Because everybody's competing against us. So if you're handicapped with the not having a handle on the basics, our hair should be on fire. You know? I'm gonna add something else, and then I'm gonna close down. But I want you to hang on to that tutoring, self-tutoring, self-determination idea. Another part of this public advocacy that we can do, call them talk shows. Make this whole educational thing the issue. Call out the mayor. I didn't realize he made the appointments. I got educated on this call. Thank you so much. I didn't know he appointed these people. He doesn't take, if he's the leader of this town, he doesn't take responsibility for the educational system. I think in the past he defers and claims that the state is really the state makes the decisions because the money comes from the state. But he needs to be called out. He needs to be disrupted. The council people need to be disrupted. We need to go to the meetings and disrupt those meetings and make this like my hair's on fire kind of issue. That's my offering to conversation.
Thank you, Brother Bill. Before you comment on that real quick, Brother Jovani, from the experience of what they did in New York, I was invited to a Zoom meeting and I was like, dang, it's like 300 people on this meeting. What the hell?
Yeah.
And so I didn't even know what it was about. And then I saw the PG talking and all you saw was council member, council member, council member, council member. Because what the PG did is he was in the New York Post, articles was writing about him. They was making a lot of noise. You know, the president general's a business owner. He's a business person. So he started getting the businesses up and all the parents up. And the next thing you know, that started a huge change. So like you said, Brother Bill, what they did in New York, they put pressure. So I think one thing that lawsuit does, it puts pressure. And we may not have to wait 4 years if they know we're serious. But I just hope that we all can get behind it You know what I mean? But you made some valid points, brother. So I just wanted to say that, go in on off. Go ahead, brother Jovani.
No, I was going to say, I completely agree. And that's where I talk about where the cultural emphasis on education needs to come from. So it needs to come from, the community as a collective. So I think, what we have the power to do, and my connections with even the local, all the local media outlets here, I think we need to get several of our groups together and actually hold a press conference surrounding, education. Or we can use the April 4th event as that really kind of launching pad for this community effort. Because now, if we get people out there in droves and show that we're serious about education, the powers that be are going to start taking this serious. And a lot of it stems off what I call political apathy. Is where either you feel retaliation if you speak up, or you say, hey, this is the way it's always been, so it's the way it's always going to be. And a lot of people in Baltimore do feel that way, for whatever reason. And that's one of the biggest hurdles that we have to overcome, is that political apathy. So when we say, hey, this is the community effort, education is the number-one issue. Right? Education is the number-one issue that we're facing. When we see the community support behind that, I think we'll make significant waves. And I my wife and I, we've actually started homeschooling our 4-year-old son. We homeschool him with a kindergarten curriculum, and he's 4 years old. My little boy is already reading and doing math. I was on the way to the airport one day, and I was recording a little video, and I asked him, what's 200 times 3? And I really haven't explained multiplication to him at all. Like, I haven't talked to him about multiplication. He asked me about it one time, but I haven't really explained it. And I asked him what 200 times 3 is. He looked at me, thought about it, and just said 600 with no question. So the capacity our young folks have for education and the thirst and hunger they have for education is there. But we have to be right there in front of it, showing that we are going to help you get to the next level. We're going to see our future better. So I'm here for the long haul, for the ride.
And I agree with you, homeschooling, but then you made it, you fixed it for your situation. But those people that can't stay home and homeschool their children and don't have the equipment, the computers, the access, that's the ones I'm concerned about. And they can't do what you do. And we have to, like you said, we have to give them the information so they can learn how to advocate for themselves and advocate for their children. And again, like I said, like 90% of the children in these schools are on ADHD, and they're on these special education IDPs. And the schools are receiving extra money, but the children are not receiving the benefits. See, that's an issue right there. You're getting the money. You're getting the parents to sign off on this, and yet the services are not being rendered. The children can stay in school until they're 19 years old with a tutor at every grade, every classroom. And they're not getting those services, and yet they're getting the money. Now let's ask them where their money is. You're talking about education, they're getting the money. They're getting more money for our babies, and they're not getting supported. So that's another problem that we're having with the school system. And then the teachers are not educated. They are not certified to teach our children. And what are you teaching our children? You're teaching them the same old mess that we were learning back in elementary school. I listened to them. Nothing's changed. So if you're not advocating for your child and listening to what they've been doing for those years that they dealt with COVID, you were listening to instruction, and you should have been all over those teachers. It made no sense. It makes no sense. So I'm done. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Jay Rich had his hands up for a while.
I'm sorry, we're gonna make Brother James the last one, because we have also Maryland Delegate Kaylin Young, our UNIA brother, want to speak to you about some legislation he's pushing while we got him here. So one last one, and we could, Brother Jovani, you can close out with the times of the meetings again and the places.
You up, Jay Rich? Unmute.
Bonnie, man, I think what you're doing to keep that thing in and keep pushing through. And my biggest is you should reach out to people.
Jerry Rich, your audio is really bad.
Children are, children are, law. They wherever you are, man, make sure that you hit up Brother Patterson.
Yeah, we must have lost him. Yeah. I think he said whatever you do, make sure that you hit us up. Hit me up, Brother Jovani, but you know we're gonna be talking. So Brother Jovani, thank you so much. I can't make that meeting Tuesday, but I'm definitely gonna hopefully make the next one or whenever you need me there. But can you before you close out and let us know when and where those meetings are again?
Yeah, so peacebaltimore.com has the event. So Peace Baltimore, and the first one is March 14th at 6:30 p.m. That's it's supposed to be District 3. Then the following day at City Hall, there's going to be a rally, Ides of March rally down in front of City Hall at 5 p.m. And that's March 15th. Then the following week on March 21st, we're going to have a District 9 town hall, and that's going to be on West Fayette Street. But peacebaltimore.com has, you know, the specifics. You can RSVP or, you know, kind of add your name to the list there. And then April 4th, there's going to be a community event in front of North Avenue, so 200 East North Avenue, where we're going to be rallying for education, rallying for our kids. So those are the next 4 events that are coming up.
Thank you so much, my brother. I love you, and we definitely going to support your cause. And whatever you need from us, just let us know. We got your back.
Right on. Thank you, family, for having me, and thank you for the discussion. I always encourage debate, and I'm not asking everyone to agree with what I'm doing, or just talk to me. I'm very transparent about this stuff, but I think together we can all make a difference in what we're doing in Baltimore City. So thank you for the time. Thank you for everyone that shared, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make a go ahead, Sergeant at Arms.
Are all those dates on his website, sir?
Yes, I just put the website in the chat.
Okay, I see that. Thank you, sir.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick. We're gonna finish the agenda, but I had Brother Kalen on. I've been trying to get him. For those that don't know, he's a Maryland delegate. He's pushing some strong laws he's trying to push. So I wanted him to come in real quick and just speak on what he's trying to do. He's always showing us love, so we got to show it back to our brother. And he wants to hear what you guys think about him, and he wants our opinion. So I value that very much. So go ahead, Brother K.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's always a pleasure to chat with everybody here at the UNIA. Apologize for being in a car on my way down to Arlington, Virginia. The National Black Law Students Association, which is the organization I used to be a national chair of, is having its national annual gala tonight. I'm on my way down there to support those young law students. So as we talk about educating our students, educating our kids, we want to get more. One of the things we know is that there are only 5% of lawyers in America are Black. And so, I'm just glad that this organization continues to do the work that it does. We want to support them. Again, I'm Delegate Young. I represent Eastern Northeast Baltimore, the 45th Legislative District. Y'all know I'm the son of C. Jana as well, who y'all know very well. And just happy to be here again to support everybody at the UNIA. As Mr. President mentioned, I'm putting forth some legislation that has mostly to do with public safety, but not dealing with public safety from the sense of stronger penalties that you always hear, or mass incarceration type of policing issues, or more policing, but rather trying to empower people and communities where they are and where they live. So I'm gonna go through some of the legislation. Definitely want to hear y'all feedback. But before I start, one more thing I want to share with y'all is a few key dates. The first one is March 21st. We're going to have 45th District night in Annapolis. and we have buses that's going to be leaving Baltimore and taking people down there. So I just want to ask if anybody that lives in East and Northeast Baltimore, or if you just want to go because you're part of the UNIA and you want to roll with Dr. Young down there, you are welcome to come. Email my office. My office email is just my first name, not my last name, Kaylin.Young. If somebody could put this in the chat, I would appreciate it. Kaylin.Young at house.state.md.us. It's very long. So again, Kaylin.Young at house.state.md.us. Or you can just Google it and you'll find the information. But if you email, we'd be happy for y'all to be down there. You can meet your elected officials, myself, Senator McCray, Jackie Addison, other delegate, and I think Delegate Smith, but I'm not sure. We're going to all be down there. I'm going to show y'all what Annapolis is about, so you have that access to the halls of power that we talked about. So you have that access to your legislators. You can let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. So that's the first date. But then also the next date that I want to tell you is that it's crossover day. Crossover day is the day where legislation has to pass the chamber that it originates in. So, for instance, I'm in the House of Delegates. I have to pass my legislation through the House of Delegates by the Monday the 21st, March the 21st, and it's got to get through the House if I think it's going to have a chance to get through the Senate. So, if anybody's paying attention to legislation in Annapolis right now, keep that date in mind. If it's a Senate bill, it needs to get to the Senate. If it's a House bill, it needs to get to the House by that date. And then the last date, of course, that I want to share with y'all is Sine Die, which is April 10th or 11th. It's the second Monday in April, whatever date that is. That's Sine Die. That's the last day of legislative session. And following legislative session, myself, Senator McCray, Delegate Addison will be hosting a town hall somewhere in the 45th district, and we'll make sure that President Winchester, has that information so I can share with y'all. Y'all come by and again, hear what we're working on, hear what we didn't do, and give us that feedback and hold us accountable as we talk about. So again, I want to just jump in real quick to this legislation that I'm putting forward. Again, having to do with public safety. We know we live in Baltimore. We know we got crime problems, but wanting to support our residents to help keep you on your block safe, help you keep your own block safe is the thought process with this legislation. The first piece of legislation is called the Crime Solvers Reward Fund. Essentially, right now, Metro Crime Stops is a nonprofit run by 8 volunteers. It's like the UNIA. It's an organization that's run by volunteer members that's moving for a cause. Their cause is, of course, the reward money. But again, they just don't have the resources to either give out real rewards, but then at the same time, there's a Federal Patriot Act limitation on how much money they can give out on rewards. Because they're a nonprofit, under the Federal Patriot Act, they can only give out a reward of a maximum of $10,000, and that person can remain anonymous. But that law does not apply to local government or state government. So what the Crime Solvers Reward Fund does, which is House Bill 1044, it seeks to create a statewide fund that we would, put money into and try to raise those rewards up to $50,000. The goal being, of course, that individuals who are risking their life and stepping forward to give information that leads to the arrest and conviction of a murderer, those individuals we need to reward their risk. If they're going to risk their life, they need to have a reward that allows them to be able to change their life. If they want to step out of that community and move somewhere else, we want to give them the opportunity. $8,000, $7,000 that's currently put out there. I think the reward for the young lady that was shot over at Walter P. Carter's at Walter P. Carter, the reward for that was $4,000. If y'all remember Dante Barksdale, the individual from Safe Streets that we send out into the community to do violence interruption, when he got killed, the reward was $8,000. Nobody stepping forward for that little bit amount of money. So what I'm trying to do is just raise it to incentivize people to keep their own communities safe. And again, not mass incarceration, but holding people accountable for wreaking havoc in our community. The second bill I want to talk about is Safe Neighborhoods Program, House Bill 1045. Safe Neighborhoods Program seeks to create a decentralized modern neighborhood watch by providing residents with security systems and doorbell cameras for free for 2 years paid for by the government. The system would not require you to give information to the police. I don't want to give you that barrier. I want you to just get the camera like you bought the camera. I want to just give it to you. And if something happens in front of your house, and you want to pass that information on, then thank you. We appreciate you helping us solve a crime. I also want you to be able to communicate with your neighbors, because again, when a community is talking to each other, a community can keep its own self safe. And so again, when everybody has a doorbell camera, then you might see somebody checking cars to see if it's one unlocked, or somebody that was messing with your neighbor's property. You'll be able to communicate with your neighbor and help them keep their house safe. They help you keep your house safe. And now look, when you scale that, your whole community is safe. The next bill is House Bill 1123. It's the minimum wage for inmates and financial accounts act. Essentially, when I started the first week in Annapolis, it was some young brothers that were helping us moving furniture, finding things, cleaning things, etc. Turns out they were incarcerated and they were on work release. Glad they had the opportunity, absolutely. But when talking to them, I found out that a couple of them was from my district, East Baltimore, and then secondly, that they were getting paid $3, and not $3 an hour, $3 a day in the House of Delegates. And I found that to be absurd. So I promised to those young brothers that I would put this bill in so that way they could get a minimum wage for the work that they do. Now, again, it's probably going to be difficult to get that one passed right away because of the fiscal note. But with that being said, what I'm hoping to do is continue to get that conversation going. And I want these brothers to be able to get paid because they got children in my district that is now in a single parent household. But if they're able to work, and they are working, and they're lifting furniture and cleaning and doing real work, labor is labor. Let's pay them labor for that labor and allow them to potentially get back to that child that's at home, or save that money for when they come out so they can have the nest egg to get started with. I'm gonna go a little bit faster because it's about 4 more. The next one is called the parole and probation release violations. It basically says that it's House Bill 980. It basically says that cannabis use alone cannot be the basis for a violation of
Did he freeze or did I freeze?
Oh, he froze.
Yeah,
He froze.
remember he's in motion, so
Yeah.
it might have hit a dead spot.
Yeah, so we can't get him. I'll try to get him back on. Give him a couple of minutes, but I like that bill when he's talking about more money for inmates working, especially if they're working in the House of Delegates and they're making $3 an hour. That's kind of crazy. And they on work release.
He said $3 a day.
A day?
Yeah, he said a day.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So that's pretty much slavery, man. That's pretty much slavery. So Kayla, if you can hear me, I see it's still on, but you broke up. What we're gonna do is I think we lost him. What we do is you there, Kaylin?
Yeah, I had to turn off y'all video, so now it's less data going through. Yeah, I'm driving, so y'all know how it is, like I said.
All right, go ahead. You can finish up.
All right, I'm gonna go real fast. I know I'm taking a lot of time, and I don't want to hold everybody so late. But I did hear some of that feedback, and I'm grateful that y'all had that positive. And it is $3 a day.
That's crazy.
No, it's crazy. House Bill 1022 is the post-conviction work readiness program. It seeks to support individuals who have felonies that come into the community. Again, it's 1 in 3 people that get released from prison come back to Baltimore City. And as you know, I got East and Northeast Baltimore. So how much of that is coming to my district? And so these brothers come home with felonies, they can't find work. So the goal of this is that the state does not support entities like America Works. They don't support entities that are helping people get those jobs with dollars. And so this seeks to put dollars from the state, not just the federal and the local, but now from the state to support the work that they do. There's other places that also already help people get jobs, like some career centers, but they aren't targeted to individuals with felonies. So again, trying to get dollars into those places that's already getting people jobs, but getting them dollars specifically earmarked to help brothers with felonies, assistance with felonies to get work. House Bill 974 is the gun violence victim relocation program. That's actually a bill that's running by Delegate Addison, but it's my bill. But long story short is, I had a door knocker, a brother of mine that lives down the hill in McAldery Park, and he got shot on the same day that I got inaugurated on January 11th. He got shot on the same block that he lives on in the morning, and then that same night he got released from the hospital, non-life-threatening injury, and had to go home to the same block that he was shot on. And so, long story short, it doesn't make sense to me that we are not sending people home with resources and or moving those individuals instead of keeping them in that same neighborhood. I'm trying to disrupt retaliatory violence. I'm trying to disrupt trauma with this bill. So again, House Bill 974, the gun violence victim relocation program, trying to get people in a better situation. The last one is the task force to study murder prevention and reduction in Maryland. The goal with this bill, House Bill 1030, is to essentially mimic the Squeegee Collaborative. The Squeegee Collaborative brought everybody together. As Elijah Cummings used to say, Lottie Dottie and everybody came to the Squeegee Collaborative, put their 2 cents into the conversation, and they came up with a plan to help those individuals that were squeegee find work, get educational opportunities. Look, it's been a mild winter. You would think in the winter, yeah, it's going to be less squeegeeing, but like it has been no snow. I was still expecting to be out there. I haven't seen as many. And I think it's because we've case managed those brothers and sisters and gotten them to resources that they need or to jobs that they want. And so the goal being with the task force to study murder prevention and reduction is to do the exact same thing, bring everybody to the table, have a series of conversations, structured conversations, and keep it a plan. I'm talking about bringing all those people that do the wraparound services, the violence interruption and prevention programs, the UMD ROARs, the Safe Streets, all those people that's wrapping around the folks I was just talking to you about with the post-conviction work readiness, America Works. I want to bring everybody to the table and just have a series of conversations and walk away with a plan, whether it's legislation, whether it's coordination, so that way we can actually start to have plans where the rubber meets the road as opposed to just policy. So again, that's the list. I'm gonna run down the titles one more time for y'all. Crime Salvage Rewards Fund 1040, House Bill 1044. The Safe Neighborhoods Program, House Bill 1045. Minimum wage for inmates, financial accounts, House Bill 1123. Cannabis not being a violation of your parole, probation, or pre-release, House Bill 980. Post-conviction work readiness program, House Bill 1022. Gun violence victim relocation program, House Bill 974. And the task force to study murder prevention and reduction in Maryland, House Bill 1030. That's the list of bills. I'm grateful that y'all gave me the opportunity to run this down with y'all. I'm going to make sure, I see Miss Charlene putting everything in the chat, so I'm grateful for that, but I'm going to send y'all official correspondence that lays it all out. And I'm happy to just, if y'all have questions, I'm happy to take them. But also, I'm gonna make sure y'all have my contact information because it's y'all the UNIA, y'all family, and it's always, y'all got an open door to me at any point. But thank you again.
I appreciate you, Brother Caleb. Real quick, for a lot of those bills that if the people do like them, I haven't heard anything that I didn't dislike. What can we do to help you get those passed? Is it something we can do? Is there awareness or anything?
Yeah, I mean, always talk to your elected officials. Hit up your delegates and senators. Call them if you have that relationship. Send emails, etc., and let them know that you support this legislation.
Can we use the 5 calls app?
One more time.
Can we use the 5 calls app?
I'm not familiar with the 5 calls app, but if
it has all your senators. It has your senators' information on it. It's the app that you can pull it up and your legislation or the things that you want to get put through. It should be on the list, and we should be able to pick from them.
If it has that information on it, absolutely use it. But I will also make sure I do is send the actual website. Maryland General Assembly has a website, and on the like anything, and on the website, you have members' information. You can see the list of members, what committees we're on. You can search the bills and see what the status of the bill is. On the bill page, it has the text. It has a fiscal and policy analysis. It tells you which committee it's on. It tells you the history, and there's also a button where you can click and see the actual video of the hearing that took place on that bill. So I'll make sure I get y'all that. And actually, President Everett, what I actually like to offer is I would love to offer at some point a class or a meeting to the UNIA teaching y'all how to use that website. And I could also do the same thing for the Baltimore City Council website if that's valuable to the membership.
Definitely, let's make that happen. Just let me know. We'll hook that up for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's All right, thank you again, Maryland Delegate Kaylin Young. You know I appreciate you, my brother, and I want to tell you I'm proud of you too. You know, you get me into some big, heavy hitting events, and I'm UNIA. I come in there with my red, black, and green, and you introduce me to everybody. You hold me down, man. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate you staying true to your roots and to your blackness. You know I love you, my brother.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's always going to be love for UNIA. Race first.
Race first. All right, y'all. That was brother Kalen, Maryland Delegate, man, and like you say, we got to do work, man. We gotta make sure we know our officials, make sure we putting in a lot of work. So I want to thank him, man. I want to thank brother Jovani, and appreciate that. Well, brother Bruce, you there? I think we on to brother Frank now on the agenda.
Yes, sir. We definitely Mr. Frank. Here he goes.
And brother Frank, you can use that for anything else you had as well. I know you had just mentioned the partnering with Be More Green, but whatever else you got to get out.
Yeah, peace everybody. So it's interesting because we got so much momentum right now. We got a lot of things going, and I think we ran into a really good problem. And what that problem is, so at the same time as Everett was working on Harlem Theater to look for us a home, I've been contacting Be More Green and talking to them, had a preliminary meeting and got to the point where they're also offering their space for us to use as a temporary home. The difference, I think, is, you know, Be More Green comes with a cost, but I think that, you know, for us, we want to do events in multiple places, so it's good to have more than one place to do things. So also the other part of that partnership is, like I explained to them, the biggest thing that or one of my biggest concerns for just uplifting our community in general is better foods. And that goes along with us working and trying to get a farm, which we're working on in Pennsylvania, but also with Be More Green, the type of organization that it is, the fact that they give out food twice a week, every week, you know, I think that's really close to what we are trying to do as an organization as well, as far as giving out food and making sure that people have the proper meals and nutrition, teaching classes on nutrition, teaching classes on, you know, maybe even how to grow your own food eventually. So I think that ties in. One of the things that they offer to us is they're getting ready to do like a monthly subscription program, and it's somewhat of a pilot program where people, I guess like a co-op, people put up a certain amount every month and they get a box. So what they would like to do, since it's a new program, they want to try it out with us. They said, you know, I don't have a lot of details on it right now, but basically it'll be a food box with different vegan foods, different foods from Black-owned businesses and farms in the area. And they'll, you know, give us a monthly or weekly box that we buy into in order to support that organization. And in turn, they'll allow us to use the space anytime we wish for free as well. So I will say that Farmer Nell is involved in a lot of organizations. And Be More Green is also part of a building that's owned by a larger organization called I Care Foundation. And they're doing a lot of things in Baltimore. So I think we have a good foot in the door right now as an opportunity to build a bigger and much stronger relationship. And as far as us as an organization, now we have a lot more doors open given our public charity status of 501c3. So we can look at a lot of different opportunities that weren't available for us before. So that's a major, major step in the right direction. I got the PayPal account up. And as far as the PayPal account pretty soon we'll be able to take donations. I'll get a button and a link so that we can just share. Because right now we should all be focused on fundraising and membership, right? Because all these endeavors and things that we want to do is going to cost money. And it's also going to take a lot of hard work. So if people can't come in as members or not ready to come in as a member, we also need volunteers. So we start looking at folks who are willing to volunteer for a nonprofit organization. And that's one way that we can get them involved in all the activities and programs that we have coming down the line. And that being said, I think we have a lot to discuss in the officers meeting. So I propose that we have the next officers meeting in person. I wanted to throw out maybe doing a Sunday, if folks are available, like a Sunday afternoon, and just trying to get a good idea of when we could make that happen, because it's definitely critical at this point.
Brother Shaw,
Yep.
Brother Shaw, is it possible I can be a part of the co-op?
So what Farmer Nell is proposing at this point is that he wants us as the UNIA to buy into this co-op program that he's starting. It's going to be like $50 a month, I believe. And for that, in turn, he'll allow us to use his space anytime possible. In addition to that, we are planning a meeting with Be More Green coming up soon. I've been dealing with the executive assistant of Farmer Nell, so I haven't had a meeting with him, but that's the next thing. So I'm letting you guys know, definitely, Sister Michonne, you'll be a part of that. I've already told them about you and the fact that you have a farm to table restaurant, and they're very excited about that, because I really want you two to connect and build. That's the biggest part of this partnership, because he already has partners with different organizations and schools and things like that, where he's already teaching people how to grow food and managing larger farms and things like that. So I told him we are boots on the ground and project management. That's what I'm selling them as our organization. We are boots on the ground and project management. So whoever can come out once we get this partnership going, it could be anything, but the more hands we got on deck, the more we're building towards that same mission that we have of erasing food insecurity. So we're getting there. It's gonna be, I think, Jay Rich, that's why I want to have an officer meeting, because we got to talk about all of that, but nothing's set in stone yet. It's all just on the table right now. So we just got an opportunity to speak with the gentleman and let them know what we can do and hear what we can do for them. Because I also told them, we can get contracts with them, and if they need work, if they need workers or laborers, we can provide that labor at a discounted cost. So definitely looking at the bigger picture at this point, and trying to develop some long-term partnerships where we can grow into a 24/7 organization.
Thank you, Brother Frank. Let's discuss that in Signal so we can try to meet. And I was just talking to Brother Tony about that. We have a headquarters, but like Avon Barksdale said, I want the corners. We want to set up shop everywhere and be able to get out the north from Pulaski. We want to be able to always be able to hit different areas at any time. So I thank you for that. Let's keep pushing that for real. Brother Bruce, you finished, Brother Frank? Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
All right. Brother Bruce?
Yes, sir.
After Brother Frank, and then we can do member share.
Yeah, is Lady President still here?
No, she's taking her test.
Yeah,
She's taking her leadership test.
Right. Ms. Charlene Foster, did you have any updates, ma'am?
No, not at this time. I'll just be a part of membership.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Do you need another sweatsuit, Sister Charlene, or y'all gonna be good sharing that one?
Oh, why you call me out like that? I can order another one when that comes. We're working with the one until you get the other set in.
All right, that's cool. Go ahead, Brother Bruce. I was just joking.
All right, member share. Where we're gonna start at? We're gonna do ladies first. Ms. Kenya, did you have anything you wanted to share, ma'am?
Hey, so I'm going to be having a Black Health Table at Be More Healthy Expo, which is Saturday, March 25th at the Convention Center. So you all come on through. I want Black folks to support local community-based health professionals. And because what I specialize in is helping Black folks go to medical and health facilities and make appointments as informed people. But I don't want these wealthy facilities and organizations to take advantage of our people. So I need our people to come to Be More Healthy Expo, March 25th, and show that Black folks actually know how to reach our own people and not these wealthy universities that are making a lot of money by not really helping our health. It's going to be very crowded at that event. So I want Black folks in the community to be there. It's free. It ain't free for us to have a vendor table. So I'm paying for a vendor table to help our Black folks. So I really need Black folks to come out and support those of us who are not wealthy and pay for vendor tables at these fancy events. So that's March 25th. Other things I'm working on is I do research and community work with Black men. So I have work that I'm doing with a Black man who's in Northern Virginia and a Black man he's from Uganda and he's in South Africa. So we're going to plan some virtual Black men's mental health events in upcoming months. And we're also publishing the research that I started years ago when I still was faculty in North Carolina. So I'll keep you all updated on that as well. Thank you.
When was that again, Sister Kimia?
It's Saturday, March 25th.
And where was it at?
At the Convention Center.
Got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you did.
Well, thank you. And also, so of course, we have the I call it Pan-African Conference. I don't know, most of the Black folks there might not be Pan-African or whatever the case may be, but you all are familiar with the upcoming conference happening at the Convention Center in April, right?
Yes, yes.
So I also applied for a vendor table there, and I applied for the lowest cost one on that one because, I don't sell products like, beads and stuff.
How much was it?
The lowest cost one is $400. So since I'm not selling a product, I know. I've been.
It's a little expensive to get in there too, but
well,
I'm gonna check the prices.
Yeah, so I'm not buying a ticket to attend. Like as soon as I saw that they had like Marilyn Mosby, I ain't nothing to talk about. I ain't talking to them folks. But I'm gonna wear my dashiki, taking care of Black health. That's gonna be my focus. I ain't gonna mess around with politicians and police, but I'm gonna have my focus and like my Ford Focus that I'm gonna drive to park there. So that's what I'm gonna do. So it is $400. And I will have the Black Cross Nurses material there. So if anyone else wants to come, I don't know my exact schedule and they haven't let us know if we're accepted. I don't know how they determine if we're accepted. So we'll see. I'll let y'all know if they accept my low budget $400 request for an exhibit there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, next, we're gonna go, any other ladies up here? Oh, go ahead, Ms. Foster. Did you have anything else, ma'am?
Oh yeah, quick question about the expo, because I guess I'm like the only person in the room that didn't know about it. My bad. Is there a flyer or information about that, or I can easily kind of Google it and or find out about it?
Yep, I'll post the I'll post the website in the chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Davis, Ms. Han, do you have anything you want to share
Evening.
now?
Good evening, everybody. I have actual greenhouse in my basement, and I actually have vegetables from everything that you can imagine growing. I've already purchased some grow lights, another tent because they have really actually. I've got mustard greens and kale and that's growing out of their pots now. Um, I've learned how to create a nice soil to grow. So I'm waiting for the season to break. So we'll actually have vegetables in early March. I mean late March, early April. That's growing. I have salads almost ready. So the garden is doing great. I guess we'll call it the UNIA Northeast Garden. And I just wanted to let you know that it is available. If you guys find a location where you decide to have the meeting, I think I will donate. I'll make some fried fish and some cornbread and probably a little side salad. Hopefully I have enough in my yard and downstairs in the basement to make a good fresh salad from my little nursery down in the basement. And just waiting for the sun to tell me it's ready to go outside and plant everything that I've already started. So I'm ready. That's it. Oh, and I want to thank Charlene. She came over to visit. We had a great conversation. She gave me a card. She gave me this beautiful plate that she made, the UNIA flag, and she
Oh,
also
that's a
gave me a
nice
heart.
plate. That's
Yes,
nice.
and
Yes.
I have it. I have it under. I've got it where it's displayed, and I just wanted to tell her how much I appreciate her. I enjoyed the conversation, the connection, and I just appreciate her so much for doing that for me.
And thank you for hitting me this week. And again, I'm so sorry for your loss. I let them know that I spoke to you and you might not even jump on, but thank you for your dedication.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate everything. It's like back to back. So I just have a cousin that passed away yesterday in New York, another one. So just keep my family in prayer. Thank you.
You got it.
Right, if we got any more ladies on here. All right, we're gonna start from, we'll start with Mr. From the bottom, if that's okay. Mr. J. Rich, did you want to comment, sir? Let me share. All right. Mr. Page, VP, did you want to share, sir? Anybody hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Give him a minute to unmute.
Ladies first, I haven't problem.
Hold on, Dr. Shams. We got you in a minute. Hold on, Dr. Shams. We'll get you in a minute. You breaking up though.
No.
Let's raise hands if somebody wants to share.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it like roll call, if anybody wants to share, raise your hand in the Zoom app.
Chief Elder, you want to jump in real quick? We ain't seen you in a while. I know he was there. He jumped on for a minute.
Guess it's on Shams.
Go ahead, Dr. Shams. You up?
Okay, ladies first.
Raise first, brother.
I just wanted to say that, I just wanted to say that I lend a helping hand as far as keeping us connected for 24 hours, 7 days a week, because I had a free chat service onto my website. And I think I posted a few different places on now. One of the main places where my website is in the area, you know, and the name of it, sir, the chat, what it is, African Issues Chat, or a J-Web Chat, brothers and sisters. So, you know, you could do a chat there, and I think it could last 24 hours. Or they ask for basically to go on and start a chat is for your name and your email address. That's all they ask. And I guess you just get started from there, from what I understand. If you have any other problems, my phone numbers are posted there as well. My landline and my mobile phones are posted right there underneath the chat service on my website. And I will give my website now, and that'll be it. My website is located on the internet at Not Helpful USA Legislation's people.bravesites.com. That's Not Helpful USA Legislation's people.bravesites.com. And I hope that I could get some participation on that chat service. I think it can definitely help the 24-hour schedule that we might want to go on. All we have to do is phone each other or whatever, you know, and arrange the conference from there. It's just that simple. Anybody want to talk to for a chat, and you don't feel like staying on the phone, whatever, you have other things to do on the computer, just call the person and start the chat. That'll be it. Again, my website is Not Helpful USA Legislation's people.bravesites. Piece of race first.
Race first, Dr. Shams. Put that in the chat real quick, Brother Yao. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get Chief Elder in, and then and Brother Yao is next. But I haven't. You been on the CBPM meetings? I hadn't caught not one. Dr. Shams, that was for you. Go ahead, Chief Elder.
Hotep and blessing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm so glad you're doing well. You know, I had to check up on you. I'm glad you're looking healthy. I know you had the surgery, and we was worried about you. A couple of members was asking about you too.
Oh, it's a blessing. Let me first say Hotep and blessing, sending out positive energy for healing and spiritual growth around the world. Yes, December the 6th, I had triple bypass heart surgery. And our ancestors is good. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. I'm just about ready to get back out there on the front line for the liberation as a great people. And I want y'all to know that I felt all of your prayers, all your energy coming my way for healing. And there was not one time that I didn't have you guys on my mind. And because I constantly kept my cell phone near me, you know, and I seen the messages that Brother Everett was sending me for the meetings, and I wanted to respond back, but I said, I see they still sending out the signal. So that was suffices enough for me. And then when he texted me earlier today, I said, I gotta pave the way, you know what I'm saying, to make this moment in time possible, to say, I love you, my brother. Race is always first. And if I can leave you, everyone, with something great that we can look forward to, is that we going to make it this time. Because we're not playing around. We're not shucking and we're not driving. But we're getting ready to put a master stop to all this madness. And the ancestors sent me a positive word to give to y'all. Hold on, stand fast, and let's get the work done. Asheo.
Asheo, thank you so much. Thank you for jumping back on and just get some rest. And that ain't no last words. You're gonna be here for a minute. You know we need you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Asheo.
Asheo. Thank you, brother.
Good to
Chief
see
Elder.
that smile, brother. Good to see you, man.
Thank you,
I
my
love you
brother.
too,
Thank
brother.
you, my brother. Race first.
Race first. Go ahead, brother, y'all.
Hello, brothers and sisters. How are you tonight?
Thank you for your patience too.
Hopefully you guys understood what I just said. I just said, how is it or what's up in my language, Tree from Ghana. And the reason I said that, because I was kind of listening to the conversations earlier about suing the Baltimore City school system. And I think someone also said that we have to teach ourselves, have our own schools. And I was really thinking about that. Like, that's very important that we need to do that. And I was reading some books on like, China and North Korea and Japan and South Korea and Taiwan. And I always think like, if North Korea is starving, how do they get like the knowledge? But I mean, in Africa, like them, we got more resources, but we can't get enough. We can't like pull it together to build like own, like, cars or our own phones or our own like telecommunications, stuff like that. It's all like Europeans or Chinese building it for us. And we have some Black people here and there doing some work, And I had to go back and I realized, oh, wait, the Asian people, with them, when they do science, or when they learn, like when they're educated, they put their language to it. When the Chinese do mathematics, it's still in their language or in their writing scripts. And Black people, we don't have our own writing scripts. Every Black person in the world has to go to a school where he has to speak English or Chinese or French or Spanish with his own mother tongue. He's not learning that, or she's not learning that. We're already born into like a neo-colonization of someone's educational system just to eat. You know what I mean? Just to get a bit, just to survive, And I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Like the Chinese and the Japanese are like those two, Japan is Honda. They got their own language on it. Toyota, their own language on it. Samsung, South Korean, their own language. But ours is, oh, we got to do some English or French. Hey, this is a colonizer's language. Why am I giving him power? Because when they read my name in the book and they see my name is a French name or English name, they say, oh, yeah, he went to a French or English school. But when they start to say that I went to a school which teaches my language, and that's my own African language scripts, that I can do mathematics in, and I can like relate more, and I can like be proud of where I come from. Hey, we built this, we built that, and we're building it today. We're not just reading someone's books. We're the ones creating our own books and our own language, that comes from where we originally come from, You know what I mean, guys? So I was thinking, since I've been teaching myself my ethnic language for the past like 4 years, I do want to start like a little organization called like Sankofa University. Now, Sankofa means go back and get. And I think you guys heard that before. We have to go back and get our mother tongue or mother tongues and use that to build like mathematics or physics or chemistry. And one special thing about chemistry is the root word chemet, which is study of the elements or ancient Egypt. So as you can see, we did have some power or history like this before, but I guess we got corrupted somewhere. But I feel like we should go back, Sankofa, and use our traditional languages to like build our systems, build like the other brother said, like ham radios. You should be knowing about that stuff. Automobile manufacturing, you should be knowing about that stuff. Pesticides, chemical engineering, all these things, military engineering, aeronautical engineering, things like that. All these things that I'm interested in, that I realize that all the books I'm reading is in English. So it's like I'm automatically learning someone else's, someone else's language just to feed myself. I'm already put in that type of slavery. But I feel like this Sankofa University was not just going to be built on languages, but it's also going to be extended with the whole like science and liberal arts and arts and things like that, social sciences, own laboratories. We can do research development, we can have our own food, but it's like, it's all these little like stuff. I want to make a university because the university is, the secret about it is it's 360 degrees, like a circle. It's going every direction. We got every base covered in one university. And that's a secret in the Western world that about universities. It's like, we're making a university to make sure that the people who go there are one person learning one thing. We've got a bunch of people learning different stuff. So when they all graduate, we got a whole army of people who are doctors, lawyers, or historians, or photographers and stuff like that. So that's something I want to do. I feel like it'll be more comfortable for other people to join this project than other projects in the past. And I feel like anybody who has a different field or a different interest has a stake. They have like they're welcome, because all knowledge is gold. Wisdom is more precious than silver and gold. So all this is important. I feel like education and economics or stuff like that, those two, knowledge and resources, are very important. Knowledge and skills and resources are very important for our development, not just for even Black people, but yes, the whole human race. But as Black people, we must we really got to pay attention to that, because I don't like being like in a position where I don't own anything. I don't see my traditional language. Like they don't make no cars, they don't make no phones. So it's like I'm constantly buying someone else's stuff. They get taking my money every year because they're making it. I don't know how to make it. So it's like, damn. But hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, hey brother, y'all. So what language is it that you taught yourself?
It's Twi. My parents come from Ghana.
Right,
So
okay.
that's how I learned.
You're able to teach? You're able to teach it yourself?
Yeah, I'm able to teach the language and the culture of the Akan people from Ghana. Like Anansi the spider stories that you guys might have known comes from Ghana. Kente Cloth comes from Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Kwame Nkrumah comes from Ghana. And things like that. A lot of things come from Ghana that we held on to because we kind of know that it's like, we kind of know that we got to hold on to like our mother, because that's the only thing we got. That's the thing that makes us realize that who we are, because we can't afford to lose it, especially in a society that makes us feel bad for even having it.
Yes, man. So I want to get with you. And we had the president of our Ghana division on, and I was speaking to him a little bit about you, but it's like, it was like, if it was like 7 over there, it was like 2, 3 in the morning over there. I think, I don't know if he stayed up or was incoherent, but I definitely going to reach out. So when your peoples go over there, he can network with them, or he can network with your peoples over there. I didn't forget you.
Next.
Anybody else before we close out?
Yeah, I'm going to say one last thing. Good evening, everybody. We got a radio chat. Hopefully we can have a radio club in the next couple of months or so. Get a couple people together, be able to start, indulging in the communications field. Hopefully in the near future, we can have a little network going on. I've already started in different areas. If you know anybody here in the Midwest, I'm in Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, anybody in this area, please, let me know. I can hook up with them. in the conscious community, and we can see what we can do out here. Maybe assist them with possibly getting a little bit more better communication in the conscious community, connecting with the Baltimore division, connecting with Atlanta. We're definitely trying to get a communications network set up, and I'm pretty set where I'm at right now. So like I said, if you got anybody you know in the Midwest, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, the edge of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, let me know. We can get together and collaborate on a real network where we can have our own internet system put up. So let me know.
All right. Real quick, Brother Tony, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask, I guess, Brother Marlon. Brother Marlon, did you have anything to share? I'd like to hear your opinions about the meeting, and welcome to the family, my brother.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah. Overwhelming amount of knowledge, for certain. Definitely didn't know what I was getting into. Once again, I just want to thank Brother Tony, because he was my Lyft driver the other day. So that's how this even happened. And we just had a phenomenal conversation. But overall, just hearing you guys and the ladies just speak on the problems going on amongst our community, it just was really just astonishing, you know. And I'm grateful to just be here. A lot to retain, but I followed through most of it. A lot of stuff I did not know about, things going on in the city. But just overall, I'm just grateful to even just be in the presence of this, and to have the older brothers and sisters, just hearing y'all, and overall, I was speechless, really, you know. But definitely very, very powerful situation that I would love to just continue to be a part of, for certain.
Definitely. Well, we thank you for joining. We're looking for young brothers and young soldiers to carry that torch, to teach them so they can teach themselves. So thank you for joining, and I truly appreciate you. Anybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody?
Thank you, brothers. We're very, very wise and knowledgeable men and women. And like I say, I'm just more than grateful to just have the opportunity to hear and know. And it was just all an overall learning lesson. So I appreciate you, brothers.
Anytime, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, man. Hit us up anytime. Join the text line so you can get the updates, and hit the membership link, man. We love to have you aboard.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm tuning in. Y'all got me aboard, man. So I'm grateful to be a part of this.
All right, and Brother Yao, I wanted to follow up to what you said, because I agree 100%, and I heard that passion in your voice about Sankofa and going back and learning our languages. I put a link in the chat for a school that I attend called Resplendence Language Arts, and they speak and teach African languages and dialects. I'm currently learning Swahili, and the classes take place on Fridays and Sundays. And I think that's a good language to start with, because the African Union uses that language. And I've learned a lot about languages and how they connect us in our culture. So I think it's very important that we start to look at that, because your history a lot of times can be uncovered in your language and the way you speak, and your culture is a part of how you speak and interact with each other. So definitely I recommend we learn as many African languages as we can, because if we talk about being Pan-African, why can't you speak any of the languages? So that being said, I wanted to share that. So that link is in the chat. That's actually a sign-up sheet for a free week of classes through that school. So I urge everybody to click that link and at least check it out and sign up for one free class. Other than that, I think, you know, like I said before, we got a lot of momentum going right now. I'm really excited about the future. This is March. It's almost 1/4 of the year, right? Completed. We're going into the second quarter, starting in April, and we got to go strong and keep advancing, because the mission never stops. We gotta just keep it moving. Everybody put in a few hours of work, whatever you can do a week to advance the cause of the UNIA BARCA-CLARKE Division 106. Call everybody, reach out, keep in touch with everyone. You know what I mean? That's how we grow. We learn each other. Brother Dwayne met me at the mentorship program. That was a big step in the right direction. We need to go back to that program with the youth and show our faces more, at least once a month. Sister Michonne needs our help out there with those kids. They love to see us. Just go through there and help them paint something, or help, serve them some pizza, whatever you want to do on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And the more we can get the kids involved and share our culture, the more we're moving in the right direction. So peace, love y'all. A lot of times UNIA is all I can think about. So call me anytime and let's talk. Let's grow, let's build.
Thank you for the shout out, brother. Thank you for the shout out. Please, anybody that, I don't care what you know how to do, just come through and they will receive you. Read a book, talk to them about investing, banking, real estate now. Put it in their psyches and put it, in their spirit. So thank you, brother.
Thank you, Brother Frank. Anybody else got to share before we go to the quote of the day? Going once. Going twice. All right, Brother Tony.
Yeah, in the spirit of this being Women's History Month, and we just had Women's International Day the other day, I am going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to have a quote by Amy Jakes Garvey. It says here, it goes as follows. Hold on a minute, let me get it where I could get it clear here. It goes as follows. The doll baby type of woman is a thing of the past. And the wide awake woman is forging ahead, prepared for all emergencies, and ready to answer any call, even if it be to face the cannons on the battlefield. Quote by Amy Jakes Garvey. Race first.
Race first. Thank you for that, Sergeant at Arms. All right, family, as you know, we're going to end off with the flag and the anthem to the flag. And I will play this. Let me know if y'all can't hear it.
Love to be a storm cloud at night suddenly gathers, oh, armies come rushing to thee. We must in the fight be victorious when swords are thrust outward to gleam. For us will the victory be glorious when led by the red, black, and green.
Advance to victory, Africa be free. Advance to meet the foe, advance to meet the foe. For the light of the red, the black and the green, with the might of the red, the black and the green.
O Jehovah, thou God of the ages, grant unto our sons that need the wisdom thou gave to thy slave. hast spoken, Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hand. By thee shall all fetters be broken, and heaven bless our dear motherland. Advance, advance to victory, let Africa be free. Advance to meet the foe, advance to meet the foe, with the might of the red, the black and the green, with the might of the red, the black and the
All right, family. That song always gives me goosebumps.
Praise first.
You were
Praise
singing
first.
a good long time. You were singing.
Praise first.
You sang pretty good tonight.
Oh, you know what? Dang, I'll be forgetting that my mic was on. Y'all, I didn't sound that bad, did I?
No,
You
you
were
sound pretty
screaming.
good,
It was
man.
good though.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Lord.
hire you. I think I'm gonna hire you, man, to sing at our next event.
You funny, Frank. Y'all are funny. I'll make sure I mute my mic next time. All right, family, hit me if you need me. And I'll get with the sisters soon to work on that event. And everybody be blessed. Y'all be safe.